Minecraft 100 Days is pretty well known as a genre at this point, but just how much could be done in a long-term survival world in 100 days? Let's find out. I start off day 1 by destroying this building. I've never liked it, but I've wanted to put something better there after destroying it instead of just leaving a hole. It's also a design I ripped straight from Grian's video, and I think I've grown enough as a builder to make my own home's home here instead of just plagiarizing his. Day 2 and it's already raining. This is off to a great start. Regardless, I kept destroying both of these buildings. Off to my base to go gather the resources to construct the building. For this building, I wanted a nice double-story apartment building with a bay window. It's that window on the left side that sticks out. I was thinking about what to put here for quite a while, and I hadn't come up with any ideas that I was happy with, and it's raining again. Regardless, I kept working, and on day 5, I'd finished the front of the building. Now onto the roof. Well, before I can get on the roof, I have to actually make the roof. And it's raining again. Apparently I live in England or something. But I didn't let that stop me. Well, I'm not sure how that would actually stop me, but I've got some Prop 4 gear just in case it tries anything. Sometimes you have to get creative in Minecraft, and so when I wanted some walls here, I put some sandstone walls. Well, maybe this isn't the best example, but regardless, I think it ties the roof together. Now off to the nether to repair my tools. But I'm not some poor heathen who'd have to repair my mending tools only by mining quartz. No, I go to the Guardian farm to let them feed me their XP, like an emperor being fed grapes. I start off day 7 by grabbing some sea lanterns to work on finishing the ceiling, since the trip to the Guardian farm reminded me of this. This room is going to hold one of every block and item that you can get in survival without cheats, and I might as well make it look nice. And this is definitely a start on that. While finally working on that building, it reminded me of another project that I've been wanting to work on for a while, this hill in the wasteland. I really don't like this hill, so I decided to gut it, but first I had to destroy the trees. So I spent all of day 7 working on destroying the trees. But it took until day 8 until I was finally able to start destroying the hill itself. And it started to rain again. This isn't even funny at this point. I grabbed some grass path because I want to do some terraforming here and spent the next 9 days, that's right, not 1, not 2, but also not 10, 9 days working on this terraforming. I just kind of got zoned out and really focused on making this hill look right, and well, before that I have to make this hill disappear and then make a better hill here. But going into the 10th day terraforming, I knew something had to change, so I decided to work on a different project. This moss here needed some block variation like the rest of this moss here, so I got the blocks and quickly did that before moving to the ancient city that I'm repairing. But I want to make it clear what I repaired and what was still there originally, so everything that I repair is made out of various lighter blocks that still look pretty similar. So I grabbed my blocks and got to work on repairing the ancient city. I'm surprisingly close on finishing this, so I may be able to actually complete it soon, but I haven't picked out a block that will replace the skulk infestations on the floor. So if you have an idea for that, let me know. On day 20, I found this part that is so horribly destroyed, I had to look up a schematic of what it looked like to be able to properly repair it. I also did some work repairing this tower. I then went on to repair this wall before going to sleep. I did some finishing touches on the wall, as well as some work elsewhere before I set my house in these 2 towers, which are the same as the ones that I just fixed, but both were far more destroyed, so I spent the next 3 days working on them. I still haven't decided what to replace the skulk with, so I leave the ancient city for now, and I spend the rest of the day sorting and putting away the items that I'd used on this project and the wasteland hill. I wanted to start off today by putting some glowberries hanging under this big tree like Nico suggested.
Oh, gosh, you put glowberries on here.
But I learned that apparently that isn't even possible. You learn something new every day. I spent the rest of the day getting bones, as I'll need them later for a project. See this awkward chunk of mountain that's sticking out? Watch as it disappears! And it only took 2 days. And after some item sorting, we're on to day 29, where I do some prep from upcoming project and mine a bit of my copious amounts of iron ore that I have laying around, as I'll need it for this project. Remember that upcoming project that I mentioned like 5 seconds ago? Well, it's upcame right now, and it's this blue house. While working on it, the farm kept getting in the way. This is my bamboo farm, and after finishing the blue house, I decided to destroy it. They've started to get in the way, and I've needed a better bamboo farm for a while anyway, so it's the first to go. Here's all the bamboo that this farm has ever produced, so clearly it doesn't work or something broke or something, since I made this farm when bamboo came out. I spent the next 9 days working on this farm. It's a slightly modified version of this farm from Silent Whisper. I don't have that much to say about it since it's really just me following a tutorial, but if you like this farm, I guess check out his video on it in the description. While looking for hopper minecarts, I found this. I guess when you have a world for long enough, you forget sometimes the things that even you've made, since I don't remember making this small mine. Unless it's the baby zombies, and now it's mine. And of course I had to ride the flying machine, you know, just to make sure that it works. After some quick item sorting, and this is just the part where I want to say I'm so glad that I have an auto item sorter. It's quite an investment in terms of time and resources, but in the long run, it saves so much time. Anyway, now all that's left is to place in all the bamboo. Now I just have to give it a test, you know, just to make sure that it works. Certainly seems like it. Satisfied with the fact that this farm will produce a lot of bamboo before 1.20, so I'll have easy access to bamboo wood. Speaking of wood, I decided to restock the wood in my shulker boxes before grabbing some blocks to work on some roofs. Both of these buildings are some of my favorites. This is my candy and plant shop, respectively. But both have been lacking a proper roof, so I spent day 42 and 43 giving them the roof that they both deserve. I think that this looks much nicer. While working on these roofs, the bamboo was loaded, which means it's now finally time to start the first full harvest of my bamboo, and yep, it works! Day 44, another day, another roof. Now I swear I don't have a problem, but that might be a lie because I maybe have a problem because I spent the next 72 in-game days, just shy of 12 real-life hours terraforming. Now regardless as to how much you may or may not enjoy terraforming, I think that we can both agree that if I made the remainder of this video, plus a little bit extra, just working on terraforming, that would not make for a good video. So I'm gonna only count 20 of those 72 days and move on to what I did next. I spent the rest of the day sorting out the copious quantities of items that I'd used during my terraforming marathon. I noticed that these buildings were missing these little things above the windows, so I spent day 65 adding them. At this point, I've done a lot of building, so I thought I'd balance it out by doing some destruction and mine out a lush cave for clay, since I can always use more clay, and I need it on an upcoming project anyway. Then I loaded all the clay into my furnace system so I could get a lot of bricks. Now, viewers, I may have a deep and shameful secret. I never actually finished this building. It doesn't have this wall. Shocking, I know. So I decided to rectify that by spending day 68 adding a wall. Day 69 seemed like it was going to be a nice day. I get to finally work on finishing this building, but sadly, it was actually quite a bad day because I made this roof wrong and had to tear it down, and then I was 1 block short of the terracotta I need to finish this roof. But it's okay because I got it done on day 70. Next, I added a wall behind these houses, and then I started to work on the road and sidewalk back here. Now, you might ask, why am I doing all this work here? Well, that's because I wanted to add more houses back here, but for that, I'll need this side to be complete so I know what I'm working with when I'm ready to add the houses. On day 72, I got a bit distracted and decided to mine out all the gravel and andesite patches around this area that I flattened for city development. I desperately need both of them, and it'll be a lot harder to do this once I've put buildings over this area. I ended up finding a cave which had one andesite patch that was connected to a gravel patch, that was connected to another andesite patch, that was connected to a gravel patch, that was connected to another andesite patch, to another andesite patch, that was connected to a gravel patch, that was connected to another andesite patch, that was connected. And that's how I spent day 73. Now back to road work. I spent days 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78 all working on this crossroads here. But day 78 wasn't just the exciting task of mining out this spot here. It was also the super exciting task of putting the items away. Whoa! I need more clay! I spent day 80 putting the clay away and sorting out my smelter. Now that I think about it, I really should redo this whole thing to improve it, but not right now. After one more bamboo harvest, the bamboo. You could even say that I have too much. Impossible. Just kidding. I need more! Anyway, back to the roads again, but not before I repair my tools at the Guardian farm. Now back to work. First I started with this back area. I want more stuff here later, but I think getting the floor out is a good starting point. Even after gathering all the bone meal that I had laying around, I still didn't have the right amount of bone blocks. So I spent day 82 and 83 slaying skeletons from my mob grinder. On day 84, it was finally time to start working on the street. I should really start naming stuff in the city because as it grows, calling everything the street or the building is becoming less and less helpful as there's more stuff. If you have any name suggestions for, well, really anything, let me know because I'm bad at names. Anyway, the first building that I wanted to make did not use all the bone blocks that I just gathered, but was this blue one here. This building does use the bone blocks, and it's the 4th small city house that you've seen me build this video. So while I really enjoy building these, I'm not sure how much I have to say about this one. Anyway, I ran out of bone blocks again, even after all that, so I spent day 88 killing skeletons. I did finish it on day 89, however. With 10 days left, I quickly put my stuff away before sorting out the smelter and grabbing the resources to make the final house in the street. Now you might ask, why did I save this for last? I wasn't sure what to make here. I mean, sure, I know I wanted a building, but I really felt more inspired to work over here. The cactus farm behind this building was really starting to irritate me, so I spent day 91 and 92 destroying it so I could have more room to keep building. On day 93, it was back to business though, and I was able to finish this building 2 days later before putting my items in the auto sorter. Now I think it's pretty standard to try to kill a boss of some form at the end of a 100 days video to show your progress in the world. And while I've made quite a bit of progress, I haven't advanced on the tech tree at all, but I could still always use more nether stars, so I started my preparation to kill the wither. After failing to remember how to make some potions and making some arrows, we're on to day 97 where I miraculously remembered how to make the potions. So I quickly jump into the nether to start killing skeletons. The clock is ticking, so I've got to make sure that I kill them all quickly. But also, even when you're as advanced as I am on the tech tree, it's still pretty easy to get withered and fired and almost die. So I've got to make sure to be careful as well. And it's a tight balance to do, and I'm really just speaking a lot so I can make sure you can watch all the wither skeletons that I had to kill. Because even with looting 3, I got surprisingly unlucky. I actually couldn't find a bow anywhere, so I guess this one will have to do. I'm now ready to fight the wither, and I know just the spot. I made this weird hole a while ago when I was in desperate need of some deep slate, but it'll also make a good battle arena. After drinking the furious cocktail that I had brewed just a couple days prior, except that advancement doesn't exist on Bedrock, so I wouldn't have gotten it anyway, I'm now ready to fight the wither. In case you don't know, the wither on Bedrock is much harder than the one on Java. First of all, it has twice as much health. Second of all, it actually is a second phase and does that. It can also charge. But despite all that, I wasn't worried at all. The wither is no match for me. I was actually very worried, but these health potions came in clutch, so I was able to kill it. I'd like to thank my mom. I also learned that this is apparently a really good way to get deep slate. But that was day 99. What did I do on day 100? Today I thought I'd show off just how much stuff has changed in the last 100 days by updating my map wall. So terraforming in particular looks completely different on the maps, and I also don't think I talked about it that much given that I spent 12 hours on it. It's also one of the reasons that this video took so long to come out, so sorry about that. And hey, if you're here, you're probably enjoying this video, so if you want, you can check out more videos on the realm here. This has been Minecraft 100 Days in a Long-Term Survival World. Let me know what you thought and what you'd like to see next in the comments below. Would you like 200 days? And hey, guess what? I didn't even die once, so this kind of counts as 100 days hardcore. Kinda. Not really. Not at all, actually.